De lo mío.
What's going on, brother?
Welcome to the Don's Table, bro. My man, Ruben Santana, bro. I think your name is fire, by the way. Before we even get into this,
Thank you.
if you guys don't know who Ruben is the founder and CEO, owner, Pitmaster, El Tigre con el Sazón of Bark Barbecue. If you've never been to Bark Barbecue, you should fly in for that if you're not from New York.
Please go.
People come from all over the world to go to Bark Barbecue now,
It's a
bro.
blessing, yeah.
It's amazing. It's amazing. But, bro, tell me about Bark Barbecue. It's something you popped off in your backyard. It's so interesting to me that there's things that we do for fun and then we can make it into a business.
Yeah. Well, thank you for having me. First off, I'm always it's always a pleasure to come and support you on any platform that you're in or occupying, whatever space. But yeah, so Bark was really, it was backyard hobby, doing barbecue in the backyard, and this is pandemic days when everybody was in quarantine. So, I went down the rabbit hole, which is YouTube, and researched a lot on barbecue. Ended up bumping into a Central Texas barbecue video, and I was like, hey, this looks pretty cool. So that's when I started dabbling in it, and before you know it, I just want to perfect it and started selling out the backyard every Saturday.
Yeah, I know people call you many different things. My favorite line is like a Dominican kid doing Texas style barbecue.
Yeah.
I just love how you blended those two things. What does it look like being Dominican in Texas style barbecue? Because I've been to Texas, and it's a different thing.
It doesn't exist.
Right. So it's one of those things where you're in New York doing your own thing. Nobody does this on this side of the map. Like, what are people's perception of that?
I mean, at the end of the day, we are from New York, right?
Yeah, right.
And we are Dominican, and at the end of the day, we are trendsetters, and sometimes we just like doing our own thing.
Facts.
So, but still, with respect to the craft, which is Central Texas barbecue, using offset smokers and stuff like that, but to infuse my Dominican culture and heritage into Central Texas barbecue was something I had to like really think about, like where can I actually implement this? Where can I make it happen? And it was simple. It was seasonings, sides, and stuff like that where you can identify when you eat.
Yeah.
So
I know people always ask you like, oh, bark. And one interview that I really liked got into your past a little bit. And I know you had some bakery experience. You worked at Zaro's, but you didn't really bake stuff, I don't think, right? You were just
nope.
It's just like a retail job, right?
Just serving, yeah.
That was your only. Food
that was
experience.
my only food job.
Yeah,
ever.
And then after that, you got into HVAC and stuff like that.
Yeah, I got into HVAC. Yeah, I got into HVAC, and I opened up my own HVAC company. So, and it was a success. Did it with some friends, and it was a success. But the thing is, at the same time, I just felt like it wasn't my passion. It wasn't my calling. Like, when you feel like it's a drag getting up to go do what you got to do, then yeah, man, it's not a great feeling.
Yeah.
So,
do you think that your HVAC business experience helped your Bark business experience?
For sure, man. For sure, 100%. It taught me how to establish relationships and how to set an infrastructure for a business. Because a lot of times, you might have the skills, you might have the craft, the talent, but you forget the business aspect and the back end aspect of a business. Yeah. And for it to be successful and have longevity. So that helped me a lot. And I think that's why we're at where we're at right now.
Yeah. Looking up your stuff. One thing that even got me emotional at some point was your core foundation story, because as inner city youth, like we've both experienced things. Like I've had run-ins with law enforcement where I've been arrested before.
Yeah.
And then my mom sent me to DR for 6 months. She's like, "La van a deportar, hijo mío."
The ultimate imprisonment.
The ultimate imprisonment is deportation by your own mother, not immigration or homeland security. Yeah, so I spent 6 months in DR, and that was like my punishment in the campo. You know what I mean? But for you, it was a different story. You actually were in Rikers Island at some point for a charge.
Yeah. Yeah, that was when, I was in my teens. So funny because I was working in Bed Bath Beyond. And then I started, it just wasn't cutting it for me. Because I always had some type of ambition of just being my own boss, man. So when you have that ambition and you grow up in the city, like, tú hacer cosas que son, you shouldn't be doing, you know what I'm saying? And, and then you grow up with a family that doesn't have money neither. So you're going to find the means to do what you have to do. So I was incarcerated for gun possession, and And, you know, it was a big turning point in my life in terms of me putting everything into perspective on who I wanted to be and how I wanted to be. So it's like I started picking up the book, started reading, you know, studying the dictionary and just learning words to articulate myself better.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I'm able to speak in front of a camera or in interviews in a certain way that people can really understand me. And I think that's really, you know, it's something that's really important to me, because I feel like when you sound belligerent or ignorant is because you just don't have the vocabulary to express yourself. So that was really huge for me.
I think it's interesting how they take away your time, but they give you the time to better yourself.
Yeah,
and things
man.
Like that.
No, 100%. Yeah, all you have there is in time, and it's just like quarantine when it's pandemic. Is either you try to hone in, and it's a lot of mental fortitude too, you know, and this really separates the strong from the weak. And, you know, are you going to take the time to just mope and, you know, cry about it, or are you going to improve yourself that when you come out of this, you're going to be better and be in a better situation, or make, you know, your opportunities happen, you know, go and get it. So.
Yeah, that's real. So, bro, launching a barbecue business with zero culinary experience, let's say, right?
Yeah, man.
And yeah, that's real. I mean, same thing for me, bro. I've never worked in
man.
a coffee shop. I've never worked at a roasting room. The only coffee experience I had was running in DR in the campo through different types of fields, because in DR we just produce any commodity that's hot, right?
Yeah.
Bro, so talk to me about that, right? Infusing the Dominican culture, sazón, all the things we put into food into that Texas style barbecue.
Well, one thing I noticed in Texas style barbecue, I mean, there is Hispanics. There's a lot of Mexicans that do Tex-Mex barbecue, like in LA and of course in Texas and stuff like that. But I never saw like us, you know, Tainos really dabbling into it. You know, we like to say that we're the creators of the barbacoa, but, you know, I really don't preach it. And the reason why I don't preach it too much, because to me it's about like, what are you doing now? Like, so what if you started it? You know, what are you doing now for it? You know?
Right.
So none of that is relevant right now unless you're in the scene right now making it happen on the front lines. And so for me, you know, it wasn't that I wanted to be the first one to be like, oh, I'm Dominican doing barbecue. Nah, I just wasn't. It just, I felt like Dominican food is very, very popular. And it's very, very liked globally and you know, internationally, and I just wanted to elevate it. And I felt smoking was a way to elevate the cuisine, and that's what it's done. That's why our chicharrón is smoked and fried. Our longaniza is smoked and fried. You know, it gives it a different the chicken. Pica pollo, ¿verdad? So yeah, man. So it gives everything a different, you know, a different aspect to it that just didn't exist there before. It's different from having everything on steam tables, sitting there all day, and then serving it to somebody. You know, now you're getting it fresh from there. You know, so that's what I wanted to accomplish, to be honest with you.
Yeah, that's really dope, bro. If you follow me on Instagram, you see me at Bark at least once a month. Me and my gang is like,
my guy.
People be like, yo, you go to Bark? I'm like, this is not an old post. This is from right now. If you pull up in the next 30 minutes, you're going to catch me.
And you
here.
happen to always go when it's busy. But, you know, you happen to get in there. So the people who say that's too long, this man goes over there, makes his line, and gets his food. No problem.
Faithfully. Because the thing is, when I'm available is when you guys are busy. And that's Saturday, Sunday. And I don't know, Sunday's a movie because the line is by the elevator. Yeah. And when you go, you're going to realize the elevator's far. So it's quite the thing, bro. But I love your team. I love you.
Man.
Boli, my boy Julio, and everybody behind the register.
We got a great team. And I think that's... because of my past and growing up in foster care and having a broken home and stuff like that, or what I was able to create behind that counter is a family. And when they come in, accept them like a family, treat them like family and stuff like that. And also like a parent. When you get mad, you know, you get serious, they're going to know like, all right, he's serious now, you know?
Yeah.
But, you know, that's what I wanted. And I feel like when you come, you know, when the customers come, they feel that. Because, you know, an employee's only going to work as much as he's happy at his workplace. So, you know, everything's not always happiness and, you know, flowers and stuff, but they understand that. They understand that we're under a microscope. They understand that everybody's ready to critique us.
Right.
But, you know, as a leader, you have to be there to be able to take them rocks and be able to protect them and just tell them to give your best no matter what, you know, comes. And
it's so good you said that. It made me cringe to think of the level you're on, because you're right. Everybody's watching. Yeah. Everybody's waiting for you to fall, or there's people rooting for you to win, like me, right?
Yeah, I believe everybody's rooting for us to win, or everybody, but
because there's haters along the way, right?
But you gotta understand, when I first got into the barbecue scene, the number one thing that I put in my head is that I'm in the New York market, and the New York market will chew you up right away and spit you back out. You only have one chance to have a good impression in New York. If not, they're gonna send you packing. You know what I'm saying?
Bags,
yeah, they're gonna send you packing. So it's like, and I was built for this. You know, like Derek Jeter was built to play for the Yankees like 20 years. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I was born here, raised here, went through it here. Like, bro, I went through incarceration, went through foster care, went through a whole bunch of stuff. This is easy now. This is what they don't understand in the industry. Like, when you are coming from so much adversity. Yeah, this is easy, baby. This is this is easy.
You could throw me a curveball, a slider, bro. I'm here. I'm gonna hit it, and I'm gonna hit a home run. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree, bro. It's so good you say that, because given the things we deal with growing up, like when we have business problems, it's just another thing to figure out. Like, we have dreams and ambitions we want to accomplish.
You gotta embrace it. You can't. You have to embrace it, and it's really small, the percentage of people that can actually embrace the processes of running a business and the hustle that it takes. And that's what makes very successful people. And that's what separates you from the pack, is how willing are you to stay focused on something to the point where it's like, it doesn't make sense to anybody. Mm-hmm. Sometimes what I do doesn't make sense to anybody. Like, yo, pero como dude? Focused, man. Like, this is what I'm doing. I'm focused on the task at hand. This is what I'm trying to do. Yeah. When I'm trying to break a chain in my family of nobody being successful and just being incarcerated on welfare checks and stuff like that, like, that's a lot.
That's real.
Not everybody comes into the industry with that type of chip. Like,
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. Like, we add so much value to so many spaces, and to us, it's just normal.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes people ask me to speak places, and I'm like, pero yo soy dominicano que se cría en el Bronx. Like, well,
but that's the beauty of it.
But we're different.
And that's the beauty of it. And that's why, I respected you when you were first coming up. And you are younger than me, but it just shows, like, to open. I've had people come, families come with their kids and stuff like that. And I mean, like, dominicano, de verdad, papá, campesino. Like, they look like just got here yesterday. And then they're like, oh, qué orgullo verte aquí. Entonces, like, I remember one time I was walking out the market, and the family was there after I had attended them at the counter. And like, míralo ahí, papi, to the son, like, es el dueño. And then he was like starstruck, and I was like, holy crap. And he's like, tómate una foto. Y él es dominicano. And he's like,
damn.
And that's like, that means a lot, man, because to be able to inspire people to, in a space where they feel like they don't belong, and then they see somebody and they're like, oh, snap. Like, yeah, we can. That's huge, because, we're typically baseball players, sports, or, club owners, or, stuff like that. And that's not knocking it, but we're so much more than that.
Yeah.
And we can be more than that. Yeah. So I think that's huge. That's very huge.
Yeah, it's a big step to approach something that has not been approached. Me and Nelly were chatting about something like that, like being the first to do something. It's like you taking on everything, bro. You putting in the legwork, you investing all the money, you the one figuring it out, and then you create the path for somebody, and then the next person that comes probably gonna have an easier time, because you already dug the hole, you already paved the street. And now they could just ride their car down the street,
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
Paving the way.
What does your meat bill look like? No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. Like, bro, the amount of meat being pushed that bark is dope.
Man. In a month we do. I'll give you in terms of volume. In a month we'll do up to almost 10,000 pounds of meat. Yeah, and this is at a food market.
Right.
Where we have a lot of constraints in terms of production. So
that's different.
It's, we've had to buy tons of equipment there to be able to, and it's still tough. So we try to, like, make things last throughout the week, because we have to be open 7 days a week.
Yeah, that's real.
Yeah, so
talk to me, because over the summer, I used to be off on Mondays. So I hit you up. I was like, yo, where you at? You smoking? I was like, boom, smoking the meat. Nice. Okay, just cause easy there, right? And I was like, yo, I'm pulling up. I'm with it. And then yo llegué. I was like, yo, you got the hatch, you got the wood. It was, bro, it was the ultimate bark experience. Rough, right? Like, it was real. And then I started chopping up wood with you, sazonando.
People get fascinated with that.
Bro, it was dope. And like, bro, I always had respect for what you did to the highest degree. I just didn't know it could go a little higher. You know what I'm saying? And it was a grind. It was very physical. I love that it's a workout, bro. It was dope, chopping up the wood, seasoning the stuff. And it was quite the experience, bro. Like, talk to me about selecting the type of wood, because that's an art as well. Seasoning the stuff, using imported oregano from Dominican Republic, the hours you smoke it and stuff like that. Like, people, I don't think people know how much goes into the art that you do.
I mean, I think that's when you let something evolve organically, where you're able to have a system built in place that's solid. And, you know, when I started, you know, working from the backyard, these are recipes that I worked on. And things I wanted to emphasize on. So the oregano importada from Constanza, Food Industries, and they've helped me out a lot. Shout out to them. They're based out of the Bronx. They get a lot of Dominican goods in. So, you know, and, you know, the wood selection is something, when I first started doing barbecue, Texas is known for using post oak. And usually when you go and you know, see a lot of videos or, you know, what's in, or you get a little bit clouded in your judgment in terms of thinking one way. But, you know, you always got to do what's best for you and what's available for you, and make the best out of it and do the best product that you can. And for us up here in the Northeast region, white oak is it's in abundance. So I get that from, it's a little bit further up the New Rochelle, Hartsdale actually, it's called, greenhouses. And he's been giving me wood since the backyard. Él venía a hacer delivery in su truck. He used to dump it on the driveway. And I used to have to take every piece of wood to the back and stack it. Yeah, so it was a half cord is basically like a 5 foot tall, 4 foot wide bag on a pallet. Now we're getting like 10 of those, like every 25 days.
That's real.
Yeah, so, you know, things have grown, and it's been a blessing, man.
Yeah. Bro, the smokers you have are huge. Talk to me the logistics of that. Like, te estoy diciendo, bro. Like, I was there, and I was like, I know business. I know logistics. This is an operation.
Yeah, man. So we have our smokers fabricated. Well, our first few smokers were fabricated in Georgia. And then our latest one was from a Texas builder out there in Luling, Texas. Very well known in the barbecue Texas community. In the barbecue Texas community, they're 1,000 gallon repurposed tanks, oil tanks. They clean them out, blast them, clean them. You know, everything is custom made on them things, and you know, we can fit on one like 35 briskets. So we got like 3, so we can do like about over 100 if we needed to at one point. Well, actually like more than 100, because we got the little trailer, the 500. So yeah, it's about capacity. I mean, you know, when you want to do volume and you want to feed as many people as possible, you have to have that type of mindset.
Yeah. Out of all the videos and experiential things you watched, and I know you've visited a lot of places around the country, who or what has been your biggest inspiration? Because I know when you started, you had your own sauce, but you've visited so many places, and I've seen you collaborating with the barbecue community a lot.
I'll be honest with you, man. At the beginning, I saw like a Franklin barbecue. He's like one of the most famous barbecue spots.
Is that in Austin?
In Austin.
Yeah.
He's like one of the most famous barbecue spots in the world. And I just fell in love with obviously the meats and stuff like that, but just the ambiance of his location, what it brought. It's a staple in Austin. So it was something that I was like, man, I want to replicate that. I can't wait till I have a line. You know, that's going to be so awesome.
That's fire.
Taking care of people and stuff like that. I can't even imagine that.
Yep.
Even now when I have a line, it trips me out. You know, it's something that
I
still can't.
Every weekend, baby.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know when you were like, man, to wait in line for that, you know, like, but you know, now I understand it, you know, and I appreciate it, and you know, the appreciation grows every weekend and every week.
You know? I actually made it out there. When I travel, I treat it just differently. Like I used to be the person who would buy souvenirs and but now I'm more of a maybe a fridge magnet, kind of guy. Yeah. Maybe like something that I'll use in my everyday life, like a pen. But my main investment when I travel is food and experiences, like because you're just never gonna forget it. I've actually been to that place that you're talking about. So when I went to Austin, I make it about the local community. I was out there for South by Southwest and some other coffee stuff. But that's my thing. You know what I mean? Because then look, it just comes back full circle.
Yeah, it does, bro.
Yeah, and I know Bark is that for people. I know people come from like Pennsylvania and Boston and Connecticut.
People, Dubai, India, Germany, Australia. It's the list goes on, man. And it's like, and to create something that is part of somebody's bucket list,
that's different.
It's tremendous. That's why when we were doing the pop-ups, doing Smorgasburg, I knew there was another level to hit. And that level was providing a physical location where people could, in months in advance, make plans. Because that's how it goes usually, right? Right. People, their trip is coming, in August, and it's January still. So you have to be available for people. That's the only way, you can get your food in as many stomachs as possible is being available. The availability of your product. So that's that was very important, and a goal that I had set out the year before, 2022, before Smorgasburg ended in October, we had to get in a physical location. Yeah.
And how did you go from Smorgasburg into Timeout Market right now where you're at?
Well, like I said, so we went Smorgasburg 2022 was our second year at the market, and we were doing great.
Yeah.
However, the market only is until October.
Right.
So I was like, man, I have to, there's another level I need to hit. So I need to know where that level I'm gonna be able to execute it at. And it was an indoor, location. So was I ready for a brick and mortar? Hell no, I wasn't ready for a brick and mortar. Nah. Sometimes I might get to your head. Tú crees que tú eres el mayimbe y tú quieres yo, déjame abrir mi sitio y esto. But no, sometimes you have to sit back and know, your brand takes a lot of work. You might have 10,000 followers, 8,000 followers, exactly. But, there's other stuff you really need to take in consideration, when you're going to open up a location. It's more than just the location being beautiful and you having state-of-the-art equipment. It's about having a following. It's about having brand awareness also. So we had a friend that he was going into the market, and he's like, listen, I'm going to get you in there. And Timeout was just like Smorgasburg, a prestigious, market, one of the best all around in New York and internationally because their flagship store is in Dubai. So I was like, all right, if you say so. I just waited, and then he came one day to the market, Smorgasburg, with the VP of operations over there, and she sat down, had the food, so our line never went down at Smorgasburg. And then she was like, yeah, and then I was telling her, we're going to go in there and bring a whole different experience that your market doesn't have right now. She was like, oh, you're pretty confident. I was like, I know. And then she was like, okay. And we went in there. Yeah, we went in there. I met everybody, told them what I was going to do, because a lot of people had, smaller menus because they had their brick and mortar outside of Timeout.
Right.
So I went in there full-fledged menu.
Wildin'.
Yeah, I'm not doing any lunch boxes or anything. This food cost for me is not where I can make bargain deals on. Sadly, it is, but we get quality stuff.
Right.
And then we went in there and we just, been killing it, man.
Yeah. It's really dope, bro. I'm telling you, seeing those lines, man. I mean, everything tastes good, bro. It's just Jesus Christ. The maduros, the arroz.
Yeah, so you've seen the menu evolve since when we first got there. Now we have the queso frito, tenemos el pollo,
I saw that, the longaniza,
the sofrito chicken sandwich. The longaniza now. So
it's been a movie.
Yeah. But we've been growing. We've been, trying to widen the ecosystem for everybody,
My style is a little bit of everything. That way we could just dibble and dabble. You know what I mean? And then we do family style when we go. It's I don't care what you get. You get what do you like? All right, cool. And then everybody has a vote, and then we get a little platter.
Yeah,
and then we all just nibble because it's you got to try everything, bro.
You have to.
It's all top tier. I know that people be sleeping on the turkey. Is what you say.
Yeah, they be sleeping on the turkey. They slept on the turkey so much I had to put chicken inside.
Oh yeah, wow.
Yeah, I mean, turkey's really, really good. Turkey's a really well-known barbecue item everywhere.
The chicken go crazy.
Pero si tú haces un pollito bueno, you know what I'm saying?
The chicken
so it's
goes
like
crazy, bro.
yeah. So like the chicken, when I was doing the chicken, I was like, man. And this is the thing, like I fry things. You know, in barbecue, like they're not really known for fry, but if you look at DR, we're like one of the top fritura spots in the Caribbean. Like we fry almost everything. Facts. You know what I'm saying? So our eggplant, you know, our cheese, our chicken, everything. So our fish. So I was like, you know, what I want to do is I want to, you know, merge those two things as well. You know, the frying technique with the smoking.
Yeah.
And to be honest, it's been a product that chicken, that texture of the chicken is just, bro, it's.
I was lucky, okay, because that day, now we smoked all that meat. My man's gifted me a chicken.
Oh yeah,
and then I took it home. Half of it didn't make it home. I was in traffic like.
Yeah, so you had it not fried.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. I had a unique experience where I had it only smoked and not fried, and then I made it to the restaurant and had that. So I was just smoked alone was an experience.
Yeah, fried is different.
I know it's both. So then it was a movie for me. I was like, I got to see both evolutions, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, and I don't like frying anything in empanizado. I mean. Also because I don't have the equipment to embarrar un fryer entero with breading. Stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But, you know, I think that natural fry is beautiful.
Yeah, no, it's amazing.
Yeah, it's beautiful. But
yeah, talk to me about your team, bro, because I know, you know, we both run businesses. We just sell different products. Growing a team is tough, you know what I mean? Yeah. And that's something I feel like every guest has touched on it. We all kind of nibble and dabble around different or similar topics. You have a great team. Like I love everybody behind the bar, bro. It's just amazing.
I appreciate it.
How did you build this team? Like I know things happen organically, but you got homie like Bolly who like pulled up from Puerto Rico. Yeah, vibed out one time and then homie stayed here.
Yeah. I mean, well, the core of our team, well, you know, I got my kid's grandmother in there. You know, she's gonna help me with all the side recipes from the early stages in the backyard. And Julio's my restaurant manager.
Julio's the
Me and Julio go way back.
Word?
Yeah, we go way back. Julio, actually, we reconnected because after the Vice segment came out, he was doing Uber. So he was bringing a couple of passengers from Connecticut to New York, and they were in the back seeing the video. And they was like, hey, we got to go see this guy, Pitmaster Ruben. He's always selling out, isn't that?
No.
And then when I was doing the backyard, the way I would sell was, yo llamaba a todo el mundo in my phone book. Hey, they're in the barbecue, man. Pasa por acá. I had to hustle it because nobody knew what Texas barbecue was. They thought it was selling hot dogs, hamburgers, wings.
Yeah.
And it wasn't that. And so then he came at one of my pop-ups after the Vice, and you know, the line was just insane, and he helped me out. And you know, he took his food, and then he came again because he liked the food so much the next weekend, and he helped me out again. I'm like, no, loco, pero yo te voy a dar un trabajo, like you should work. And he's like, oh, I'll think about it. So then we sat down, and he was like, yo, listen, like I see your vision, like, you know, and for him to say that, and I knew who he was, I knew what his work ethic was. He was a family guy, hardworking, and I was like, yo, I can use somebody like you. Like this is, you know, right now it doesn't seem like it, but I need somebody like you to hit the next level. And then he started working with me on the weekends only on Smorgasburg. So the transition from Smorgasburg to the restaurant was really smooth because he already knew what the fast pace was, taking care of customers and you know, the logistics of everything. So that helped me a lot. And what I did was, you know, like I feel like when you're trying to build a team, you have to be able to empower them. And empower them meaning them, giving them responsibility to the point where, you know, you let them, you know, try to perform.
Yeah.
But sometimes you try to hold their hand too much and, you know, you're just handicapping them. And enabling, you know, something that's just not going to reach its potential. So I'm very hands-off as a boss. Not saying that I don't oversee anything, but I'm very hands-off. And, you know.
You trust them.
Yeah, because I trust them, but also, you know, that's how I build the trust. Because I got to see what your capabilities are. I love saying it's like stress testing. Like I love to stress test the kitchen, the front of house, everybody, because I have to know, right? Like, how are you ever going to know if you don't stress test them? And mistakes are always made, but it's always about communicating to your staff, your employees, and letting them know, like, this is, what we want. And they might be responsive. Some people might be responsive, but sometimes I think we try to build people up to our imagination. But you got to understand, maybe they're not good in the front of the house. Maybe they belong in the back of the house. Maybe they can't really interact with customers. Maybe they need to be in 6 o'clock in the morning, getting everything ready when nobody's there. You got to know how to put these pieces on the board.
Yep.
And know, what's best for the company. So I think that's really, really been good for us. And I think everybody that we have fits exactly where they're at right now.
I think the biggest thing a team member could tell you is that they see your vision.
Yeah, that's huge.
Because,
that's huge.
Bro, like, we be talking about Cinemax and we be talking about Hollywood, and it's just a black wall. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, what am I looking at? So for somebody to see what you see is the biggest piece, and I agree. Julio is great, bro. He's like a splitting image of you in terms of taking care of people.
Yeah, 100%,
you know what I mean? You guys are just amazing. Like, bro, Julio never falls short to take care of us and make us feel like we're a part of the team.
Yeah, and that's also another thing, like letting your employees know, like, I'm also liable. Right. So managing upward, letting your employees, check you when you got to check you. You know what I'm saying? Because I got 1,000 things going on. It's not like I'm not going to make a mistake. So I usually like to hear out everybody. Like, if we have a meeting, or, I got to have a quick huddle, I want to hear everybody first. I'll speak last because I don't want to alter anybody's thoughts, or have them feel insecure about anything when I say what I want to say. Because I can change, what I'm thinking or the way I do things. But sometimes they might just, hold it in, conform, and then we're not going to be able to grow. It's not going to be a place where people can be like, oh, this is tough. I feel like this would be a little bit better, but, and they're there every day. So they would know, right? So, like, I might see the numbers in the back, but they might see how practical it is, live in service. So you got to find a way to make those things work.
You know who else does that?
Who?
Jeff Bezos. So I was watching an interview about him and how he ran Amazon. Now he's at Blue Origin. And he mentioned that too. He's like, I don't like to speak first because I influence people's opinions and what they're going to say.
I learned that early. I learned that early because you got to understand, like, especially in kitchens, or not even that. When you're in a space where you're creating something, there's a lot of insecurities because there's a lot of pressure,
especially with them lines, man.
Yeah, a lot of pressure. And it's like I said, because when you're creating a product, people are going to dissect it, and just the way it goes. Like, if you're selling a product that's not even yours, you didn't create it, you just sell it, that's it. You're on your way, that's it. But if it's something that you're creating, coming out that kitchen, you put your hands on, you put it together.
Yep.
It's some pressure that goes along with that, So you want them to have confidence in what they're doing, always reinforce them. But always know that, we can aim to be better, never conform. So,
yeah. I saw a video of your mom there.
Yeah.
That was your mom or your grandma?
That's my grandmother. She's the one who raised me.
Yep.
Yeah. My mom passed away about 1.5 years ago.
Wow, I'm sorry to hear that.
Rest in peace. Yeah.
That was your grandmother. So how was that experience? Like, I know, because when my mom sees me on the supermarket, last night I showed her me in this magazine.
My grandmother's really chilled right now, man. Ella bregado con los nietos, sobrinos, everybody.
Every generation.
Every generation, she's got her hands and her chancleta on already. Everybody has that belt imprint of hers.
Yeah.
But nah, that was huge, man. It was huge because, to be honest with you, like, when I was, when I tell the story about when, I was incarcerated and stuff, I went through a tough time with her because that's when she found out what I was doing, and she just packed up and left the DR. She just packed up and left. Yeah, she packed up. She left. I got thrown out the house. But, you hot-headed, you think you're doing the right thing, you don't care.
Yeah.
So, that was tough. So, and she felt like she had failed too because she was trying so hard to keep me on the right path.
Yeah.
And avoid, my father's path or my family's path. And, she felt like she failed, and she was trying her best. So I totally understand. I never held it against her. But, it was just a great, great. You know, she has a lot of physical ailments and stuff like that. So to be able to get her out there, see the line, see the booth, sit down, have some chicharrón.
Damn.
You know, that's worth a lot, man.
About to make me ball right now. Yeah, bro. Yeah, I get emotional around grandmothers and mothers, bro, because, bro, my mom was, yo, you're not going to be in them streets. And I was like, nah. And, you know, because it's just, as a kid from New York, growing up in poverty, bro, like seeing your mom work 2-3 jobs or your grandmother, and we struggling, bro, like, nah, bro, ain't nobody happy to see that. And you want to change that. And the thing is, the only doctors and nurses and people who could be exemplary are the ones we visit for our physical. Like, we don't got doctors in our neighborhoods. You know what I mean? Yeah. So the role models who drive nice cars and who have a lot of money might not be the ideal person to mentor you, right?
No, yeah. But I mean, a big thing, I'm sorry, but to like touch on that, like you're talking about. And I think I always touch on this, and it's like, I'm not ashamed of my past. I'm not ashamed of everything, because it's, you know, it's a part of you. It's a part of me. It's what made me. And it's also what I preach too, because it's like, yo, go through what you have to go through. Nobody's going to stop you from doing that. Like, no matter how much I preach to you, you know, what I say, but, you know, just make sure that you're ready to learn from it, you know, no matter what. And know that there's always an opportunity, no matter how hard you fall. Because at the end of the day, there is. And I think in society, sometimes we're hypocrites too, right? Because we want people to reform. But then when somebody reforms, you know, they get critiqued for their past. So it's like, what do you want?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I think that's where you do have to, you know, have thick skin and perseverance and know that, yo, it's never too late. You can always do what you want. You made your mistakes, that's fine. You know, you can do what you want. Just, you know, stay on that mindset that there's more always.
Yeah. Bro, so you've been featured Eater, Vice, like Munchies of Vice, 10,000 influencers, bro, viral. Like, you just, at this point, you a machine. You know what I mean? What does that look like? Like, how do you anticipate? Because, like, if I'm gonna be on like New York Times, I'm like roasting coffee a week before, because I'm just like, we're gonna get the flood, you know. So like, how does prep look like for you? Because it's more of a, what kind of challenges have you faced, right? Like transitioning from space to space, like S'moresburg to Timeout, and like getting these rushes, bro. Because like, yo, dude, you be going viral, crazy. You had TikTok on flames, Instagram in flames, YouTube in flames.
It's a blessing, man, to be honest with you. I mean, none of that is planned, to be honest with you. When I went into Timeout, I just, you know, hired some people to run my social media, because I knew it was a big part of the food industry right now. And I knew I had a product that people visually wanted illustration of what it was and, you know, what we're doing. And it's free marketing to do it on Instagram. Well, at least that's the free platform. And you just got to get somebody to manage it for you. Because let's be honest, I'm not going to look at the infograph and see at what time I need to be posting. And then, like, let's be real, I'm not going to be doing that. So, you know, and I'm not going to belittle that profession, because, you know, they've made it where it's funny, because Instagram has made jobs out of that.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
So, you know, and there's professionals, like you can honestly say professionals for that. Like, people like to downplay it, but no, there's professionals that actually get the job done. I mean, look at our page. We went in there with 13,000 followers. We're at 138. And we're talking about organically growing. Like, there's interaction with our page. Nothing's bought. Everything's organic.
Facts.
Any other influencer that comes, they hit me up on the DM. Trust me, I get a ton of inquiries. And I'm sorry that I don't ask everybody to come, but you can imagine, because we're busy, you know, I can only, you know, let so many people behind the scenes come through, you know. And also, it's about a brand thing, too. You want to make sure that our brand's being represented the way we want it to be represented as well. So,
and then aligns with everything that you want to push out.
Yeah, 100%. So, you know, that's really that's something that I focused on. And the thing is, like, when our good friend Felix came, and I you know, there's certain things that happen in
the Felix Bites effect.
Yeah. So, you know, there's certain things that happen in the timeline of your business that you can be like, cuando eso pasó fue con todo, tú sabes, esa fila, tú me entiendes. So when Felix came through, when you hit me up, he was like, yo, who's this guy? I'm like, yo, dile que le dé pa' acá. And he came one day. He did the video. He was like, "Wow, yeah, though." And he came through, and we have a great friendship now. But when he came, oh, bro,
boy, oh boy,
the floodgates open. And then and that's the thing, because how many of us knew about Timeout? Let's be honest. They might be big, they might be respected, but
not
locally,
yeah. That's downtown Brooklyn.
And they're like, oh, I didn't even know this was here. You know what I'm saying?
I've been walk past it.
I'm from Williamsburg. I didn't even know this was here. And so it's those collaborations are ones that are really, because the person's really authentic to his followership. So that means a lot as well when you collaborate with people who are authentic like that. So, but yeah.
Yeah, Felix is dope, bro. I remember when he did the clip on us, I was like, yo, and he hit me up so organically. It was just like me and you, bro. We're just Dominicans doing stuff. We in our own worlds, and when we see somebody else, we just know what it takes.
Y para que la gente sepan, Felix didn't get one dime.
Yes, Felix is one of those people that he's just so organic with it.
Yeah.
And me and you are very fortunate that we've had people come into our lives who want to do a feature on us, out of love. It's not like, yo,
and you get those messages, right?
Yeah,
I would like to collaborate. Let us, like, they want to send you prices, and like, I'm the content. Like, why would I pay you?
Yeah.
You without content don't have.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have a business, so like you're not making sense right now.
Like,
you know
this
what
is
I'm
my
saying?
story. You make it make sense for me. Yeah.
So it's like, but not knocking them neither, but you gotta have some type of footing in this game. You gotta have some skin in this game. And people like Felix, if he wanted, he could charge. You know what I'm saying? But he has his own thing going on, and he knows what he wants to do, and he does it. But you get people who just think because they have a bunch of followers on their page, like, you need to be handing them money out just to be featured on. No.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't work like that. Like, sorry. That's not the way it works, bro.
Yeah, I agree. And what I love about him is, if I could give any influencer some advice, is that he has a natural community of people who rock with what he puts out. And he puts it out because he believes in it. And he puts it out because he loves it. And he mainly does it to support Dominicans and people from the culture and the diaspora outside of the island. And the followership resonates with it so well. And when he did that feature on us, I was like, yo, bro, let me know with some anticipation, because I've been around this road before. I get smoked because we ship stuff. You know what I mean? We have partners and stuff goes all over the country. And he's like, yo, I'll do it in about a week. And then it was like more like he posted it the next day. And I was like,
does it fast,
bro, I was looking at my online story, ding, 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 and I was like, I was not ready for this.
So then when he posted that on us, bro, that same weekend of that week, we had a crazy line. That was the first time we had the line to the elevator.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was busy. It was busy, but that's when we had the line to reach so far. And I was like, all right, guys, so, we're going to handle this and stuff like that. And then the next weekend, I'm like, all right, let's see when this starts to, like, because, you figure there's waves in the business, right? With the posts and stuff. But I feel like if you have a real product that's actually good, that creates a demand, that never dies down.
Right.
We already have a year plus in there. We still have lines every weekend. Where you think it's because it's hype, or because it's because the food's good.
You come back for another round.
Yeah, the food is good. Like, we're providing something with quality. So you can't forget about that neither when you're doing the social media. People think it's social media. Nah, it's a combination of having the product and then having that to help you push it,
I agree.
That's what people forget.
Yeah, a lot of people get it mixed up. Like, sometimes people have called me lucky, and it's like, bro, people wouldn't buy a bag of coffee twice if it wasn't good the first time.
Yeah, of course, 100%. I wouldn't even be pushing it if it wasn't good. And I'm keeping it real with you. Like, that coffee. And let me tell you, like, I told you, my guys at the job, they love that coffee, man. They're like, no, the café está bueno.
Yeah, I'm glad, bro. I love bringing coffee through and taking care of them, bro, because they take care of us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but believe in buying bags of that when I get, my own standalone.
It'll be a movie. It'll be a movie, bro. It makes me really happy that we could create a community through coffee and barbecue and all these things.
But listen to what you just said. A community through coffee and barbecue. Who would have thought, like, us Dominicans would be in those space?
Yep. Yeah.
Like, think about that.
Not 6 years ago.
Nobody.
Yeah.
And it's something, that we also have to keep in mind. Well, what we're doing is that, we're representing a group of people. And maybe not only Dominicans, everybody in the Caribbean. Yep. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it's our duty to give a representation that we're good for business once we step in the room.
I agree.
You know, that we are good for business. We know how to handle our business, you know.
I agree.
Stand on business.
Feel me? You feel me? You know, that just sparked, man. One day we got to create a coffee rub. But we're going to leave that for another conversation. A little limited edition Bark Barbecue X Don Carajal Cafe. That will go nuts.
Yeah, that will.
But speaking of community and all these things, you're in Brooklyn, bro. You put Brooklyn on the map. You represent Queens, where you're from. You represent Dominicans. How do you contribute to community in the local scene? I've seen you collaborate with like people in PA and other barbecue joints. Yeah. I saw you did the competition in New York or something like that for barbecue.
Yeah. I've done stuff outside of New York as well, and that's because I was invited. But like the past couple of years, we've done this food drive for men's shelters. Wow. We go cook some turkeys, hand them out, and stuff like that. I'll be honest. When it comes to anything that's given us, I really don't post because I feel like, you know, I'm being told to do it, so I just go and do it. You know, and it's important to me. And then recently we were in South Carolina doing whole hogs with my friend Hector from Palmyra Barbecue down there for the Ronald McDonald Fund. And stuff like that. But, you know, wherever anybody needs me, you know, if they ask, I would be there. And, you know, even, you know, Secret NYC did a segment, and one of the girls that was doing the interview, you know, she's a cancer survivor and stuff like that. So it's like I told her, and she was like, anytime you have any events that you want, I'll come through, I'll cook. Just let me know, you know. And that's the way I am, man. Like, you know, just
that's
I
dope.
don't brag about it. Just do it.
No, I feel you because I'm the same way. One thing I hate, and I know hate is a strong word, but I actually hate this thing. Like I will admit I hate is when people get a plate of food, give it to a homeless person or somebody who is not in a great situation, and they take a picture of it. Like don't dehumanize somebody like that. And that's my thing too. Like if I give to give, not to make it a PR stunt.
Yeah, I know, but you gotta know the time that we're living in. This is how it's gonna be. Yep. And then it's like, it's sad, but you know, you just have to know you have that peace in your own heart and in your own mind that you're doing right. You know what I'm saying? Yep. It's gonna come back.
Yep.
No matter what's gonna come back, you're gonna be taken care of.
I agree. I like working with coffee farmers and trying to add value to the supply chain where it begins, and even stuff with the local community. Yeah. When it comes to like a food pantry, I like promoting it and us being involved in it, so you could also contribite to it. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, we do have influence. It's all about how you carry it out. You know what I'm saying? And not just using people's situations for gain. Right?
Yeah, and you know, some people do it to make it is. And to be honest with you, like let's be honest, like to be able to help does make you feel good. Yeah, it does make you feel good, but it shouldn't make you feel good for the wrong reasons. It should be because you're in a position to help, and if you can help, because let's be honest, maybe some businesses aren't able to help. Yeah, they might be in some financial constraints and stuff like that. It's understandable. There's nothing wrong with that, but if you're able to help and you're asked to help, I have no problem with that. But I do feel like a lot of dialogue. I feel like what happens is also like there's dialogue that needs to take place too. Yep. You know, like somebody reach out, talk. Yep. Let's get to know each other. Like know if I'm really about your cause too. Same way. You know, like I need to be about your cause as well on what you're doing for me to be in 100%. So, but I think that's important as well. So
yeah, that's cool. I felt that. In terms of sustainability and like ethical practices at Bark, what does that look like? I know you guys have a big operation, like
zero food waste.
Zero food waste.
Zero food waste. The highest quality that we can get in terms of prime brisket and pork. And that's another thing that people don't realize, that we use the best quality that we can possibly use. And we use everything, like our bones from our chicharron. We use it for a broth for our rice. Yep. Right now we're using a veal bone broth as well. You know, those are things that create an ecosystem in terms within the business to be able to not have a lot of food waste and keep our food costs low. Yeah. And it's also, you know, to respect the animal and not just throw things out and not use it, you know, because it's a lot of cows going in those smokers, you know. Right. But, you know, they're nutrition for the next person. And it's just the way of life. If we don't eat the animal, trust me, there's another animal eating that animal. Right. It's just the way life goes. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, but, you know, if we can do it in a respectful manner and create quality food that people actually want to consume, you know,
Yeah, that's dope. I know you're growing fast, and I'm glad you have that in place. Because you went from Smoresburg to Timeout Market, and like I personally just feel like you've kind of outgrown both spaces already. And you're going fast, bro.
Yeah.
Do you have anything in mind for creating that official standalone brick and mortar for Bark Barbecue?
We are definitely working on a brick and mortar, 100%. There's nothing like cemented right now, but that is the goal. That is the dream. To be honest with you, that is the dream. So that's the goal for this year, to lock in a physical location and be able to elevate the experience, for people when they come to Bark, have them see the smokers right there on site.
That's fire.
Wood burning, meats coming off, do pit tours, explain things to them. Something that they don't have now, and, we would be one of one. So I would love to do that.
That's fire. Bro, y'all sauces are top tier.
Thank you.
Top tier.
Yeah.
That barbecue.
You tried the cilantro avocado?
Muchacho, all that.
Good,
I saw somebody then experiment one time, like dipping the chicharrón into guac. I was like,
but the guac is not ours though.
I know, but I just saw like
there were so many people asking for like guac.
I know,
that video.
I know, because I'm a Bark fan, like so I know what y'all got going on, but the barbecue sauce, bro, is my thing, bro, and I see a lot of potential there. We've even chatted about stuff like that.
Yeah.
Do you ever want to put that out into the world, available outside of Bark?
Yeah, we're currently working and having them bottled, FDA approved, and adding the nutritional facts and stuff like that. Because you got to remember, all these recipes are made in house.
Yep.
So there's a lot of
how do you scale it?
pH levels and stuff that have to be done with the sauces, so they can be approved. So yeah, we're working on that. We're trying to bottle our mustard sauce, and our Bark sauce, which is our original sauce that has Dominican molasses in it and ancho chili and a whole bunch of stuff. So we're working on that, and hopefully we can have it in masses, like available in supermarkets everywhere and stuff like that. It takes time, but that's the goal.
I wish we had a button right here that just barked. Every time you're
like a drop.
Yeah, that would have been crazy. Yeah, that would have been.
Luna to do the drop.
Right. Yeah, Luna's gonna have to get in there. In terms of people trying to kick off their food business, you inspire a lot of people, bro. Like you're a GOAT. You know what I mean? You have millions of views of people watching you. The comments, people, it's just like, yo,
thank you.
How does he do that? Any advice you would give people that look up to you in terms of how to get to where you're at, or how to just simply start?
I think like in any field that you're about to endeavor, and you have to have some type of passion. And I know it sounds cliche, but you have to be able to fall in with the hustle and, the struggle that it is to make it, because it doesn't happen overnight. You might not even make money at the very beginning. It's just the way it is. But you have to be able to wake up and go through the processes every single day because you love it. If it's not there, it's just not going to happen for you.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the biggest advice I can give people. And, and just, pilot your idea in small increments. Like, don't try to go big or go home. Like, try to set it up for survival, for success.
Yeah.
And those are things that I think people really need to, like, grasp when they're trying to, because they always think about, but hay dinero en eso and stuff like that. But no, in reality, there isn't. El dinero is because of the person, how they set up the infrastructure and they marketed their product and the product they produce. That's donde hay dinero, So that's very, very important, I think.
Yeah, I think people take the advice we give lightly. Like when we talk about like, you're going to struggle, there's no money. And they're just like, yeah. And it's like, no. I'm pausing right now because yes, there is no money, there is debt, there is headaches, there are sleepless nights. You got to get up early.
Yeah, but you also got to remember, people are going by these, like our Instagrams. Our Instagrams are snapshots of a timeline in our business and in our life, but they believe it's the whole story.
Right.
But those are just snapshots.
Yep. You
never know. Right after that picture, I had to go freaking deal with a banker or deal with a loss or,
the car broke down.
Yeah, those are snapshots within a timeline.
Yep.
And You know, right now you might have people who didn't follow you from the very beginning, so they don't know you was rolling in the minivan trying to deliver your own coffee to everybody. You know, they don't know that story. You know, but you know, it's just the way it goes. That's why you always gotta preach it, and they might not understand it. But hey, if you can still inspire and people want to do something, that's still great too. Just remember, everybody has to go through what they have to go through, so we can't be mad at them. You know, it's them.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep. Talk to me about your favorites, bro. What are your favorite bark items? Because I have my own, but I'm gonna leave it to you.
My favorite bark items. Of course, I love the brisket. Brisket has, I mean, so many hours. I spend more hours with that than I do with any family member. Making that, you know. So it's like, but the brisket, the chicharrón. I love the chicharrón. It's just represents who we are as a whole. Chicharrón and our longaniza. I love the longaniza. And our chicken items too, man. The sofrito chicken sandwich, extremely good. We take calera, which is chicken thigh, put it in a sofrito, house-made sofrito, smoke it, and then we fry the order. So good with our avocado cilantro sauce and some pickled onions. Simple, but sometimes the best foods are simple.
I agree.
Executed expertly. You know, that's what it's all about.
The more choices, the more complicated.
Yeah, it's not about having these food porns. Like, they think like the tres golpes is a food porn that I was trying to do. It was really not. It was extremely, like, I wanted to do like a tres golpes sandwich. I love queso frito. I love maduros.
That makes two of us.
You know what I'm saying? And it just happens to be that contrast in flavors in that sandwich was just something that was really good. Chopped chicharrón, brisket sandwich. Extremely good. That's Texas and DR meeting up together, you know.
The link up.
Yeah, that's the link up. They're intertwining there. So there's a lot of items that are good, man. It's you know, the moro. I love the moro. No, mac and cheese. People are so torn with the mac and cheese.
Bro, I mean, you're talking my language, okay? I know you're the creator. I'm the fan here. I'm the consumer. I am your target ideal demographic. All right. So then, what would you say? Let's say nobody has ever been to bark before, and are those the recommendations you have? What would you recommend somebody's first bark experience?
Well, if somebody goes to bark for the very first time and they're indecisive of what they want, you need to say, "Let me get a little bit of everything."
And
meaning, let me get a quarter pound. You're not obligated to get half a pound. You can get a quarter pound. Hey, you can get one rib if you want one rib, one slice of brisket, 2 pieces of chicharrón. Así tú tienes una picadera ahí, you know. And, you know, this is that people don't really understand either, like how to order barbecue. So they get overwhelmed.
Yep.
Yeah, I say como con los ojos.
All the time. Even I can never figure it out.
And we try to advise them too, like, you sure? Like, no, dame eso.
Préndelo.
Dame eso. And
let me get the whole thing.
Yeah. And it'd be like that. But we try to help people to make sure they don't over order neither, because, you know, you might not know how to order. So we try to help everybody out the counter.
I'm not going to hold you. A little bark the next day. Never hurt nobody. It never hurt me. It never hurt me.
Not. Definitely not.
It never hurt me.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. Bro, what would you say is a piece that I just wanted to touch on before we close? What do you think bark is doing to the New York scene? I don't think there's anybody doing what you do. In New York, at least the East Coast. I saw you do some stuff in PA. And I think you putting on for Dominican culture is such a big thing. Whoa, I want to touch on that too. What is the perception of Dominicans who come from DR and they come visit Bark? Because it's a totally different experience than what they might be used to, because they're not from here, so they don't understand Texas style.
They're not. I mean, I think that's the beauty of the business, because it's like, yeah, we have things that resonate with them, el arroz, maduro, and everything. But then once they come, y chocan con ese brisket, ese pulled pork, it's like, coño, hold on, eat the carne. You know what I'm saying? And I love those reactions.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, man. Like, if si tú no tuviera sazón esa comida, trust me, I'd be hearing about it. I'd hear about it, you know, like, but it's you know, I was just able to implement the flavors Dominicano, Criollo into Texas barbecue, and it's something that's just worked perfectly, seamlessly. Yeah. It seemed like they always belong together.
Yep.
Like, who would have ever thought you needed maduros with a brisket? No, Texas people come and they're like, wow, the maduros, You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. And people go specifically sometimes, let me get the chicharron. You know what I'm saying? And I make them pronounce it. I'm not going to serve it until you say it.
Chicharron.
And I love it because that means they're embracing it, you know? And you got to understand, culture is something that a lot of people hold dear to them. So for when outsiders come in, they're like, no, that's ours. But we have to have an open mind to push it. But at the same time, protect it. You know, that's huge. And I think, look at the birria taco.
Yep.
It's been mopped. The floor's been mopped with it already. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's doing a birria taco. You don't even know what is supposed to be a good birria taco.
Yeah, it's diluted right now.
Yeah, it's crazy diluted.
Yeah.
And I'm not gonna say it, but ever since we came with the chicharron, bro, you see all these viral videos now in YouTube. Chicharron, you know, and chicharron. They think because you crisp with the skin, that's it. Like,
not the
chicharron. But it's un sabor que está supuesto tener. So, naranja agria. You know, you're heavy on the oregano, heavy on the. There's a way. There's a method.
Right. It's a method of madness. Yep.
Yo, to making it. But you know, it's been great. They've been really receptive, and I mean, on the weekends too, like como esa. If you see my videos when I put in the story, tú oyes a alguien in the back hablando.
Yep.
Dame un country club ahí con la comida.
El rojo.
Dame un rojo ahí.
Yeah.
Tú me entiendes.
Yep.
And I love it, you know, and I'm never ashamed of it. And it's great to be able to put it in a platform for the whole world to see, you know.
That's beautiful, bro.
Yeah, man.
Well, thank you for coming, bro.
Definitely. Anytime, brother.
It's been a pleasure. Can't wait to see what you achieve and then how I can be a part of that journey.
Man.
It'll be a great time, bro. I hope the listeners enjoyed this. A lot of gems in this episode right now. And if you can make your way to Bark Barbecue in Brooklyn,
yes, sir.
You do that. And then hopefully you watch this later in life, maybe a year from now, and then you go to the location. Yeah. Whenever that happens, we have no official timeline, but Bark is going to keep on barking. Keep
on pushing, man. And we're located 55 Water Street, Brooklyn, on the 5th floor.
There you go. Yeah. And when you get out the elevator, you make a right, and then you're going to see it because you're going to see a line, baby. You might as well just get on the line, all right?
Yes, sir.
It is worth the wait. That's what I'll tell you. You might have to wait, but it is worth the wait because I've done it at least once a month, all right?
Thank you, man.
So yeah, do that. But yeah, thank you for coming, bro. It's a pleasure. Thank you for putting us Dominicans on the map and putting a good rep behind our name.
Always, brother.
Appreciate you.